For decades, Outlander has asked a question that has haunted both its characters and its audience. What would you risk for love when time itself stands as the greatest obstacle? Season after season, that question has been explored through battles fought, sacrifices made, and impossible distances crossed. And now, with Season 8, it stops being theoretical. This is the final crossing, the last turning of the stones, the culmination of decades of devotion, courage, heartbreak, and resilience. Everything that has been built, the love, the losses, the triumphs, and the scars, faces its ultimate reckoning. Season 8 is not about beginnings. It is about endings. From the very first chapter, Outlander has never been merely a story about time travel or historical events. At its heart, it has always been about people ordinary and extraordinary clinging to love in a world determined to tear them apart. Every season added layers of complexity, every year added weight, and now all that weight comes down to this final chapter. Love that once seemed invincible must now confront the passage of time and the consequences of choices made long ago. Promises once made in desperation demand payment. Losses once mourned must be carried forward. Every moment from the past is no longer a memory, it is a force that shapes every present decision. What makes this season so distinct is its sense of finality. In previous seasons, there was always hope that time could be rewritten, that choices could be undone, that fate could be delayed. In Season 8, there is no such illusion. The hope for second chances has faded, replaced by a sober awareness. Time is unyielding, and every action carries weight. The tone of the season is heavier, quieter, and more contemplative. The characters no longer run toward the unknown. They pause, reflecting on the lives they have lived and the love they have fought to preserve. The story no longer asks what could happen, it asks what can endure. This season carries a profound focus on legacy. Beyond the battles, the danger, the drama, it is about what remains when the noise fades. It is about memory and meaning. The characters are no longer fighting solely for themselves, they are fighting to prove that their love, their sacrifices, and their very existence have left an indelible mark on the world. Emotional honesty permeates every scene. Silence carries weight. A glance, a touch, or a pause can speak more powerfully than a battlefield ever could. Season 8 reminds us that the deepest wounds are often invisible, and the most profound victories are quietly claimed. Time travel has never been without consequence. Every crossing exacted a price, every change altered the path. In this final season, those consequences demand attention. Choices, even those made with the best intentions, cannot be ignored. The past is no longer distant. It is intimate, unavoidable, and alive within every scar, every memory, every heartbeat. This season does not rush toward closure or rely on spectacle. It honors the journey and invites the audience to sit with it, to feel the weight of decades of love, loss, and courage. Love in Season 8 is complex and layered. It is no longer defined by grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It is endurance, resilience, and quiet presence. It is choosing one another every day, even when time, distance, and circumstance make that choice painfully difficult. Strength has a cost. Courage comes not from charging forward, but from remaining present, from facing what cannot be changed and living with it. Relationships, both by blood and by choice, have grown deeper and more fragile, their significance amplified by the knowledge that time is limited. Every moment together is precious. The season's visual storytelling reflects this maturity. Light and shadow are used to evoke memory rather than urgency. Scenes feel like recollections, moments suspended in time, rather than events in motion. Silence is deliberate. Conversations are loaded with meaning. Conflict is internal. Tension arises from unspoken fears. And stakes are measured not in survival alone but in truth, in consequences, and in the enduring power of love. Season 8 treats time as a witness rather than an enemy. It has seen every triumph and failure, every scar and every moment of joy. Now, it waits as the characters decide what to do with the lives they have lived. Memory becomes central, memory as a repository of love and pain, memory as the cost of living fully. Legacy is explored not as fame or historical record, but as the intangible proof that love and courage leave behind. That lives once intertwined with others continue to resonate. The emotional palette of this season is subtle but intense. Fear, grief, joy, and hope coexist quietly. Characters who once hid behind walls of strength now reveal their vulnerabilities. Tears are not weaknesses, they are truths. Courage is no longer the same as it was in youth. It is measured in the ability to face life's realities and to love despite the cost. Reflection replaces reaction. Acceptance replaces illusion. The story allows characters to acknowledge their journeys fully, their triumphs, their regrets, and the complexity of the love that has defined them. Season 8 understands that endings do not erase beginnings. It honors the wonder, excitement, and fear of the first crossing, but now viewed through the lens of experience. The pacing allows moments to unfold naturally, giving the audience space to reflect, feel, and connect. It trusts stillness, silence, and subtlety, knowing that the loudest gestures are not always the most powerful. Emotional resolution is favored over neat narrative closure, reflecting the truth of life itself. Ultimately, this season asks a profound question: can love survive the full weight of time? And in asking this, it reminds viewers that Outlander has always been about the human heart, its resilience, its capacity for joy, and its capacity for pain. Season 8 is about understanding what matters most, about the choices that define us, and about the quiet endurance of love that refuses to be diminished by history or circumstance. This is not a season of spectacle. It is a season of intimacy, not of beginnings, but of culmination, not of surprises, but of truths, not of endings, but of understanding. Time may separate us, history may shift, but the love, courage, and humanity of these characters endure. They have shaped the story, and the story, in turn, has shaped them. Season 8 does not merely close the book, it honors every page that came before, allowing the story to rest with dignity, depth, and quiet intensity. As this final chapter unfolds, one truth remains: Outlander was never about traveling through time. It was about living fully, loving fiercely, and leaving a mark that time can never erase. Season 8 is not just an ending. It is the proof that some loves do not fade. They become timeless. And as the stones turn one last time, the journey reaches its conclusion, not with a door slamming shut, but with a breath finally released, a story finally understood, and a love that endures beyond the limits of history itself.